Hi friends, it's Jody. Welcome back to This Beaded Life. I'm here today because I recently got back from vacation and I love that I got Sam's bead box while I was gone. It's spa day for May 2025. I'm super excited to open this. I'm sure it's going to have lots of very serene colors in it. I haven't even sliced open the tape yet, you guys. This is so fresh. All right, I'll be right back. Okay friends, so I've got everything set up, ready to go. So it is spa day and this is what they have to say. So the reveal date is May 14th, spa day. When I'm craving some relaxation, I love to escape to Refuge, an outdoor spa tucked off a winding road in Carmel Valley, California. When you arrive, you're given a plush robe and walked through the process of the thermal cycle, where you move between hot tubs, cold plunges, and the eucalyptus sauna. The rhythm of the experience is slow and meditative. It doesn't usually take long before I'm sinking into a chair by one of the outdoor fires and nodding off. Calming by the sounds of flowing water and chirping birds in the trees above, it feels quite sanctuary, like a quiet sanctuary, sorry. This month's box captures that feeling of serenity, transforming you to a spa of your own with a collection of premium stones, pearls, and facets. We began with tranquil blues, shimmering sapphire polish, fire polish, blue lace agate, and milky blue glass. To represent renewal and healing, we chose lotus motifs, rice pearls, and crystal quartz. Lastly, to add a touch of luxury, we included strands of amethyst and purple opal glass. Each element is an invitation to slow down, breathe deeply, and create something special. Sam. All right, so we also have a little listing of things that are going to be happening, but here's the little list. And of course, we got some Werthers, which is always outstanding. So the first thing we have is Amethyst Art Deco cut grade A. They are 5.5 by 6.5 millimeters, and you get a 5-inch strand. These are really pretty amethyst beads. Very pretty, very well done. Fantastic quality. So let's put those in here. So this box does have an $83 value, and you can actually sign up for Sam's bead boxes, and if you're new, you can use my code CRAFT to get $5 off. All that information is in the description of this video, and I don't think you would ever be disappointed. Sam's bead box is one of my most favorite bead boxes, and they always have such beautiful things in here. So next we have a check glass fire polish rose crown amethyst lilac mix, 8 millimeters, and you get a 14-piece strand. This is really pretty, you guys. The cuts on here are so intricate. I mean, just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So let's cut her open and get her added to our box. I love the amethyst on the strand because the strand wasn't really super tight. So I was able to just kind of roll it around in there. And next we have some more amethyst. We have amethyst faceted rounds. These are 3.5 millimeters, and you get a 7-inch strand. These two are so pretty. Look at the sparkle on those. And I think this is one that we can probably just fit right in there too. And it is perfect. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Next we have check glass Kiwi ovals, and these are light purple with an opal copper, and they are 10.5 by 13.5 millimeters, and you get an 8-piece strand. I love these little Kiwi beads. These are really pretty, and they feel just like, I don't know, when you see like an opal-y type finish or a silky type finish, it makes the beads feel like they're more silky. I don't know why. I think it's just like your eyes play a trick on you, but they are really pretty. So let me put those in here. Next we have check glass fire polish barrels, purple opal, 4.5 by 7 millimeters, and you get a 15-piece strand. These are really pretty too. So again, we have a lot of purple in here, but it is very, very pretty. And I'm feeling much braver about purples, and especially with, it's teamed up with some blues, so it really, and some coppers. So it really helps me to be able to visualize what I would like to do with this. All right, next we have cultured freshwater rice pearls, grade B, which is still a great quality. These are 6.5 by 7 to 10 millimeters, and you get a 4.5 inch strand. These are glorious little pearls. I have pearls just like this that I got from Sam's, and I absolutely love the quality of the pearls. Just beautiful. And I think those can stay on the strand too. So I like this. They are like, this one's going to be a lot of gemstones, which I am really enjoying because, well, they typically send a lot of gemstones anyway, but for some reason this one feels extra gemstone heavy, which I'm okay with. Next is check glass fire polish round satin copper. These are 6 millimeter, and they have it on a 25-piece strand. These have such a nice facet on it, and it's kind of like that lighter copper where it almost mimics rose gold, where it's really, really pretty. So bringing that in with some of these purples is just, I don't know, I love that. I love the copper color with purple. I love the copper color with pink too. It looks so nice. So let's put that in here. And there we go. All right, next we have check glass fire polish fancy facet square. This is in light sapphire. They're 9 millimeters, and you get a 12-piece strand. So these are almost like a table cut. The sides of the square here are wider than like the top and the bottom, which I think is really cool. It gives it like a whole different dimension. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. I'm feeling like really calm. So last month's box had me like on edge, and not in a bad way, but in a good way. I was like almost screaming how much I loved it. But this one I feel so relaxed opening, and it's so funny how colors do that to us, right? Those bright colors are like, they get you so excited, and then you have these soft, beautiful, luxurious colors, and you just feel, it just gives you a different energy. All right, next we have blue lace agate, and these are smooth rounds. This is a grade A strand. They're 6 millimeters, and you get a 5-inch strand. These are really, really pretty. And the detail on these blue lace agates are beautiful. There is some gorgeous little banding in here, the white banding. Very, very pretty. This pale blue color is just so peaceful looking, so serene. And we're going to leave them on a strand too, because there's some space on that strand to allow it to kind of form into my little section here. And we can cut off some of these though. That's a little wild. Let's pull that off there, just so we don't have so much to tuck in. There we go. That's better. All right. Next we have check glass fire polish rondelles, and these are a light sapphire. They're 6 by 8 millimeter, and you get a 15-piece strand. These are very glorious. Look at the sparkle. Look at the sparkle on these rondelles. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I'm going to put them right in here. We still have quite a bit yet to go, you guys. This is pretty loaded. All right, next we have check glass drops. These are purple bronze luster. They're 4.5 by 5 millimeter. I'm sorry, they're 4 by 5.5 millimeter, 25-piece strand. So these are like it's a purple, but they have this bronze luster over top of it. So it's almost coming across as a blue. Very, very pretty. Definitely can be used with purple or blue. Definitely. However you want to do it. This is all like perfectly curated. So next we have check glass fire polished coins. This is in a purple blue luster mix, 8mm, and you get a 16-piece strand. So this is really pretty. So these all have a luster on them, and they're like a smaller coin, which is really, really cool. But look at how thick they are. They're nice and thick. These are really pretty. And I love when they do these mixes like this. I know I've told you guys that so many times, but I absolutely love the mixes. And we're just going to keep them in the same little container together, just like so. Next we have, and this is the last strand, so we have these hematite cubes, and these are copper plated. These are synthetic. They're 3mm, and you get a 7.5-inch strand. So this is actually a really good size strand for these little cubes. Absolutely love them. Trim that off there. And because this one is on such a stiff wire, we're gonna go ahead and open this one up and get these in here. These are so pretty. All right, put this in there and trim that off. All right, so now we're on to our bagged selections. So first thing we have here are check glass lotus coins in lilac and blue, opal bronze, 14mm, and you get a 4-piece set. So let's take a look at these. Oh, these are really pretty. So they're printed front and back. Oh, I like these. I always like the little lotus flowers. I have so many of the little lotus flowers, but I do not have any that look like this. Not in this blue, not in this purple. Really, really pretty. Love that. Then we have a check glass table cut garland flower, blue silk mix, purple bronze, 20mm, and you get 1 piece. So let's take a look at this one. Oops. Ooh, look at that. Look at that blue. And then there's like purpling on the side there. This is really, really pretty. Oh my gosh. This is a really gorgeous flower. I need like 35 of these, please. That is beautiful. All right, then next we have our crystal quartz teardrop pendant, 17 by 39mm, and you get 1. And it says on here it's a grade A, natural inclusion, and your tone may vary. So yours may not look exactly like mine, but here's mine, and it's drilled front to back at the top here. This is beautiful. This is a really pretty quartz pendant. Oh, I love it. It's like perfect. This is a perfect pendant. Absolutely perfect pendant. All right, next we have blue lace agate, top drilled chips, mostly 8 to 15mm, and you get 13 pieces. This is also a grade A, and you get some blue and banding and brown inclusions. So those are all the things that happen naturally. And these are really different. Okay, so these are all top drilled. Let me grab a head pin here. Let's see if I can get one. There we go. So this is cool. So they're going to be like this. I think I kind of dig this. This is neat. I've never had the chips like this. This is cool. I think you get really, really, really creative with this. This one is going to be one I'm going to have to sit down and think about and play around with and see what I can come up with, because I've never used chips that were like this. This is really cool. All right, let's put these. Oh, this is neat. Look at this side. Oh, that's really cool. I like it when you get like these natural cuts like this. Look at that. Look at that. Like there's so much in here. Like you have like some, like this is like a perfect little rectangle, right? But then you have some in here that are like this. Like this one, it makes me want to hang it like this, so this can be like part of a pendant. That is really neat. And I like this long one too. Okay, let's put them right in here. Oh, I didn't notice the back side of this one. Look at how nicely brown that is. Oh, I like that. Okay, I like that. Next we have check glass Drux Milky Opal, Blue Opal, 3 millimeter, and you get a 5.7 gram bag, which is approximately 175 pieces. These are so fantastic to have, and I love that milky blue opal color. It's just so pretty, and like I said, it just makes you feel like it's softer than like, or like smoother than like a regular bead would be, just because of that milky look. That's pretty. These are great spacers. These can be used to do like some wire wrap stuff. I mean, there's so many different things you can do with these. These are so pretty. You can even do some bead weaving with them. They're like perfect for that too. Absolutely gorgeous. All right. And last of our additional selections, we have the check glass diamond brios. These are a milky blue opal, 12 by 13 millimeters, and you get a 10-piece set. These like diamond brios are so cool. I have some in other colors that I got from Sam's, and these are just beautiful. Look at that. And there's the other side. One side is like a little bit more raised, or like raised than the other side, but these are really pretty. And you guys know I love that check glass. All right, so now we're on to our metal selections, which we got a couple different things here I'm super intrigued about. So first we have the open hoop charm. These are 27 by 29, and you get 2 pieces. These are so cool. I am envisioning these being, I don't know, like earrings. Like these are going to be fantastic earrings. I think you could even do something where you're hanging it like this, like a pendant, or even an earring too, where maybe you're wire wrapping on like your little earring finding and maybe hanging some things down below. There's just a lot of things that you can do with these. These are absolutely gorgeous. Let's put those right there. And then we have 2 lotus flower charms. These are 19 by 22 millimeter. And these are stunning as well. I feel like you could even do, you could go like all metal, right? And just hang that in there. You know, maybe put some beads between here. I don't know, but they are gorgeous. So this is Spa Day. And I tell you what, I want to do something with this tonight, but it's getting late and I just got back from vacation and I'm really tired. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna leave this on my desk just like this, put this in here, and then tomorrow when I get home from work, we will create something with it together. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, just as promised, it's the next day, guys. So our Seize the Day calendar today says, it is the greatest of all mistakes to do nothing because you can only do little. Do what you can, and that's from Sydney Smith. Those are good words. Those are great words. No, don't be hard on yourself. You know, the world can be hard enough. Don't be hard on yourself. All right, guys, so we have the Sam's May bead box in front of us that we opened up last night. And I had mentioned something about these being earrings. But, you know, like I was thinking about them today. And I'm like, well, why couldn't I do like, I think I do want to make them into earrings. And okay, so let's take a look and see what I'm thinking here. So if we did earrings, they would probably be kind of like this, maybe. But what I'm thinking is probably doing like, you know, like the little beads going up here, you know, to go to a, yeah, you know, ear wire. And then I also thought that it would be really pretty to do some wire wrap with like the loop so I can hang dangles from it. So I think we're going to use some thinner gauge wire, do some wrapping around it, and have some dangles. And we could even do a dangle here. So, and what I'm thinking, because I don't really want this to be like too tall, like if it could be like 2 little pieces of wire here and here with like a little loop here for the ear wire and then for like a dangle. And I'm thinking of these, but then I'm not sure. So we have those. We also have these really beautiful amethyst beads that I would love to see on some dangles, along with using more of the blue with it, these little blue beads, and these as well. And I'm almost thinking that I don't know if I'd really want to do this one per se. I think maybe I don't even know if I'd want to have anything in the middle. Like sometimes I just kind of like the inside of my hoops to stay the way they are. So maybe if we did like this and bring in some of that purple and some of that copper. I'm also thinking about doing it this way to where I have this kind of going on here. So like maybe like that, and then doing like a wire wrap here. But then I don't know. I'm also so these are the things I'm thinking about, you guys, as I'm looking at these, and I am obsessed with these. So I know I definitely want to do something with them. I also thought about just doing this as like a connector to make a multi-strand, right? So just do like some multi-strand here, have some smaller beads up here to connect the back. I think I'm going to want to make earrings. Why don't we go ahead and this is what we're going to do, okay? I really want to make some earrings. Ooh, and I have these drops too. I forgot about these. So these are really pretty too. So I think I want to bring those in, and maybe not the amethyst, because these have that purple and it's got that like milky tone to it as well. So why don't we focus on this? I'm going to grab ear wires and some wire to use with this, and I'll be right back. Okay everyone, so I have some artistic wire here. This is a craft wire and it's 24 gauge. So we're going to use some of this, and I'm not really sure how much we need. I don't plan on doing a ton of wrapping on here. So I'm thinking a foot would be more than enough. So let me get my little tape measure here, wherever I did with it. You guys know how I am. Oh, here it is. So let's get our tape measure and let's measure out about a foot of wire. So here's 1 foot. Okay. And we're just going to take one at a time here, because I think I can see what I want to do. But, you know, sometimes what I envision and what we actually accomplish are two totally different things. All right, so let's go ahead and open up this one. All right, we're also going to need a few head pins. So I'm gonna get those out. Oh, those are really bright copper, but maybe, no, those are really just too bright. Let me get my other ones out here. Here we go. This is what we need. I'm just gonna grab a little handful of my ball head pins. We have those now. All right. So this is what I'm thinking. I am going to start right about here. And we're just gonna take about 1 inch of this wire and we're just gonna fold it over our component. And we're gonna wrap this short one around a few times, okay? I'm gonna try to make this as neat as possible. You guys know I'm usually totally into my messy wraps, but I'm gonna try to do this one as neat as possible. And we're gonna trim out that little extra spiky piece here. And just set that off to the side. Let's smush that down. And you know, when you're doing this, wire tends to want to move on your component a little bit. Don't be alarmed by that. It's totally normal. All right, so what we're going to do is I want to make like a little loop here. So I'm going to bring in my round nose pliers. I'm going to set it up against my component. And I'm just gonna bring that wire over top of my round nose pliers. So my wire is in between the two, like I'm gonna make a loop. All right, and essentially I am. But what we're going to do is we're gonna leave it here like this. I want to bring, I think I can make this work. I'm going to put one of those little blue beads on here. Let's see if I can make that work. I'm not a big fan of that. We're not doing that. Okay, so we're going to do what we said we were going to do. But I feel like I kind of made my loop a little bit big, which is fine. I can always like bring it in just a little bit, like so. So basically one part of this loop is behind it and one is in front. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bring this wire down. And again, you guys, this is something that I'm just trying, okay? If it doesn't work, we can take it apart. And I have 3 wraps here, so I want to do 3 wraps here. All right, so just like that. And then we're going to do the same thing.
Okay.
You leaving?
Yeah, I've run to the store. He's been washed, so he's still a little wet.
Okay, you can leave my door open, honey. He can come in.
I got stuff in the dryer and I got it to.
All right, sorry about that. So now we're going to do the same thing. We want to make one more loop here. Trying to make them around the same size, just so that way it looks very uniform. And we're going to bring that over like so. Now I'm going to have to just turn it just a little bit. So these are going to be like facing kind of a weird direction, but I think it's going to be okay. So now, holding that loop, we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to bring the wire down, do about 3 wraps, and we can fix our wires when we're done. I got a wet dog in here. He was rolling around in something out in the yard. We don't know what it was, but it was stinky and not good. It might have been himself, if you know what I mean. All right, so now that we're here, this is gonna be our middle part. And I really wanna use these really pretty, yeah, those guys. And I'm thinking I might also be able to do maybe the copper beside it, or maybe we should just do the blue. Either way, it's going to be pretty. So why don't we try the blue? So we're not going to make a loop. What we're going to do instead is we're going to feed on our little round bead, feed on our drop, and another little round blue bead. Okay, just like so. And let's bring that over like this. Okay, so now we have this. All right, and now we're coming around from the back, and we're gonna wanna go over the front. So you wanna go over the opposite direction where you came out. Sorry again, I thought it was gonna be quiet in here, then people came home, so I had to close my door. All right, you guys are getting some interruptions today. All right, so now we're gonna do 3 more wraps just to keep it even. Nice and even. Just like that. Okay, now we're gonna repeat this. We wanna do 2 loops. So let's come in here. Like so. And wrap that over. And again, we can adjust all these loops when we're done. I'm just trying to make sure they're roughly the same size. And we do 3 more wraps. And 1 more loop. Okay. And 3 wraps around, like so. I think this is gonna be really, really cute. All right, so let's trim this off like that. We'll save this because we'll probably use it for something. And then let's go ahead and do some squishing and some fixing. So I want to squish that little sharp pokey piece there. I want to make sure my little wraps are together. So I'm just going in and just kind of squishing those together. I'm also kind of making sure that my wraps look like they make sense. Like this one's a little bit bigger, which is, it's fine. I mean, it's not gonna hurt anything. But I just wanted to make sure it had some kind of uniformity. And I just want to make sure this is kind of centered properly. So we're just gonna do that. I can even stick my round nose pliers in here and maybe pull that just a little bit, kind of maneuver it just to make it look like it's cohesive. All right, so now that should be pretty centered. All right, so we're going to, I have a broken bead. Oh, that's sad. Sorry, little bead. We're going to take our little drops because we want them hanging from here. And we're just gonna do a little something. Let's do maybe the copper one. The little copper cube and then our little drop, and then that's gonna hang right from here. Let's take our round nose pliers. We're gonna make a tiny loop and we're gonna wire wrap it right on to our wire. Just like so. Oh, got a fuzz. And we're going to do that 4 times. Really carefully and easily. And here we go. Squeeze that right in. Okay, that's gonna look really cute. I almost wonder if I should do a couple on there, like kind of make it a little cha-cha. So like maybe do this. This is where we really can get creative, right? So we got our basic design down here, what we wanted. I knew what I wanted to do, had to just figure out how I wanted to do it. And now it's time to do our little zhuzhing, right? So we can make it more than what we planned. Can definitely do that. So, but I want to finish doing these on here first. So let's do another wire wrap loop real quick. Okay, just pop that open. And let's put it on here. And we can just hold that loop. The loop for our wire wrap loop for our dangle. And let's wrap this around a couple times and trim off our extra. Whoop, that one flew back at me. Good thing I have my glasses on, huh? All right. So far, this is what we have, and we're gonna continue. I'm gonna do the other two over here. And I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and make the other one together again, like at least the wrapping part. And then I can do like the little loops and everything, all these little dangles, and then we can come back and finish the rest together. So I think that's what we'll end up doing. On here, hold it down, there we go. I kind of don't think I need to add more because I think it'll be pretty just the way it is. It's kind of simple. It doesn't have to be too much. It's like just enough business going on to make me happy. Let's put this one on. And let's hook that through. Okay, I think that's cute. And then if we did want to still do something here, we could. And I think if I was going to, I think I would definitely want to do this lotus flower. So we're gonna keep her here for just a second. And let's see what we need for this. I think I'm kind of hoping. Okay, so this is what I'm thinking. So if we could take this wire, and this is what, about 3 inches or so? Let me see. Yep, almost 3 inches. I just want to test something. I might need it to be bigger than that, but I'm not sure. So if we just took this down the middle, approximately the middle, and went about halfway down on our round nose pliers, and brought both pieces down and did this to make it one piece, I think that would look good. And maybe we could even do like a little twist here, like so, just to make it one piece. And I think it would hang better. And then if we did, like took a couple of these blue ones, don't need many, just a couple. And we do the blue, the copper and the blue, like that. And then we could make a loop here, a smaller one. I'm wondering if I'm gonna remember how I did this. All right, so let's see if I can get that on there. Okay, yep, I think that's gonna work. And I don't mind having like a little bit of this copper showing because it's beautiful, right? And this is, you know, a metal based earring, so I think it'll look good. And let's go ahead and wrap this around. Just a couple times just to secure it, like so. And then I'm going to trim this off. Okay, yeah, I like that. That is working out pretty nice. All right, so let's do the same thing over here. We got the copper between the two blue ones. So it looks like just under 3 inches is plenty to pull these two together. And you're probably gonna have to like move it like this, like kind of like pinch it up so that this is more of a triangle. To get it on there, but that's okay too. So now we want to go ahead and make our loop here. We made a smaller one, so let's get in there and make that. I think I would do a full 3 inches because that way you're not shorting yourself on wire. Maybe, you know, just that extra like 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch would make all the difference in like struggling to put this together. All right, and now we need to just get that in there. And you might need to pull on it a little bit, but gently so you don't destroy your loop. There we go. Could have made that loop just a little bit bigger, Jody. All right, now we're just gonna work on getting it on there. And let's hold it steady. And I'm sorry if my fingers are in the way, you guys. I'm so sorry. It's very fiddly. And I'm gonna cut off more wire for the next one so we can see it a little bit better. And whoop. There we go. I'm going to trim this off. And now we can straighten everything and make sure it's all straight, squared away, and that looks good. You know what? I like this. This looks really good. So this is what our earring will look like. And now I'm debating of having this hanging like right here, like just right in the middle. I think that would look really, really cute. So I think we might do that. And I think the way we're going to do it is we're going to use this ball head pin, and we're going to put our purple lotus flower on it. And let's use a copper one. Put that on top so that way it has some dangle. And let's make our wrapped loop. And now I'm wondering if I can get it on there Might have to use a jump ring, which will be fine. Let me just see. If this doesn't work out, that's okay. I don't mind. We don't need to use this. I just thought it would be nice to kind of nice to use it. But if we don't need to, we won't do it. And then trim that off. Make sure there's nothing pokey. There we go. Let me see if I have some jump rings that'll work. All right. I have some of these. Let me try those out. Let me just see if one of these will work. And there we go. I just wanted to fit over top of this, but I don't know if it's going to. And like I said, if not, it's not a big deal. We don't even need to include it because I actually don't mind it just being the way it is. And those might be just a little bit too small, so I'm going to set those off to the side. Let me try to do a size up. We want to give it one more shot, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. It's absolutely fine. And I think, let's see, got one more like that. Let's give those a try and see. These are about a 5 millimeter. But again, like I said, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I'm not going to be upset over it. All right, but it might, you guys, it just might. All right, so now we're just going to want to try to hold this all in place. Let's bring that in, and let's just see how it looks. And you know what? I'm not a fan, you guys. I don't know, like that jump ring is just so big. Let's put the ear wire on just to make sure. All right, so this is our earring. Actually, no, you know what? It's not bad, is it? I like it. I think that actually turned out really cute. All right, guys, we're gonna make the other one. We're gonna do the other one the same way. I think that's really, really cute. So I'm gonna just put that one off to the side. Save those jump rings, the other ones that I opened up. And let's get our wire. So this time, instead of only cutting off a foot, I'm gonna cut off probably more like about 15 inches. So I'm just gonna guess here that probably about this much. All right. Put that off to the side. I need the other purple one. And we're going to need some of these little guys. So let's bring those out right away. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the wire wrap around, and then I'm gonna do some of these things on my own, like making the little dangles and stuff. And then we'll come back to finish off the rest of it too. I'll make sure that we do this part together again, and hopefully with some longer wire, it'll be a little bit better. So we will do that. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So I'm coming right about here. Let's do it this way. And I am going to take 1 inch of my wire and just fold that over my component. And I'm bringing that little piece of wire through my component, and I want to do it on the outside. Okay, so like this. So my working wire is going to be towards the inside of my piece, and my little wire is going to be on the outside. And we want to go around about 3 times. So that's going to go around about 2.5. And then this one's going to be our third, kind of. So we'll end up right about here. All right, so yep, that looks like 3 full ones. All right, good deal. Before we get any further, let's snip off this teeny tiny, or at least try to smush down this little teeny tiny piece here. And since we're working with 24 gauge wire, it should be pretty easy. All right, so now that we have that, we have our wire that's coming from behind, and it's going to be going towards the front. I just want to double check my work here. Yep, okay. And then we're going to take our round nose pliers. I'm going to try to be a little more consistent with my loop on this one. So I want to go right about here, I think about halfway. And we're going to take that wire and move it over top of our round nose pliers. We can just give it a little twist with our finger so it's kind of facing the right direction. And then let's bring our wire over and through. And let's make our nice little neat wraps. We want 3 of them. And we're going to come back down around towards the bottom. All right, and remember I said we can always fix our wire as we go. So I'm going to just kind of grab a hold of that and fix that real quick. And we're going to do the same thing here, about halfway down. And this you can do depending on what your taste is. You can do smaller, you can do bigger, and maybe do extra dangles from it. You can do this however you like. And then let's do, we want to do 3 more. All right, and we're going to straighten this out a little bit as we go. There we go. All right, so now we're in the position to where we are going to add on our beads and our little drop. So let's grab our little round blue bead. Oh, I just flung it. To never be seen again. All right, there we go. And this one. And one more little blue bead. Okay, just like so. And we had it hanging just below our earring, like this. All right, so now that we have that, we want to make sure that's all nice and secure, like hanging the way we want it. So if we need to curve our wire up a little bit so it's like this, we absolutely can. And then we're going to take our wire and go over top of our component, and we're going to do 3 more wraps, ending up like right underneath the component. I think we need 1 more. There we go. And then we're going to do our loops again, right about halfway down. Bring that over. And do 3 more wraps. And do this one last time. Bring it over. And we're gonna just kind of fix that a little bit. And we'll do 3 more wraps to end it. There we go. All right, now let's trim this off, and now we do have a much bigger piece that we can work with, and hopefully it'll be a little more helpful that you guys can see it a little bit better. So I'm just going to pinch down that little end there. I'm going to do some fixing of my loops, just kind of get them to face the right direction. All right, and now I just want to look and compare. So this is what we have, and it looks like it just needs to kind of scoot. So we're gonna just do like a little bit of a scoot, okay? And this might take a little bit of work here, but just do a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit at a time, just to where you get it centered the way you like it. All right, so now we are pretty centered, I think. That looks pretty good. And they're even going the same direction, which I really like that. All right, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and make all the little dangles for down here, and I am going to create the dangle for the center, but we're gonna come back and we're gonna do this part up here together. I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I got my dangles added and I made the dangle for the center here. I have our jump ring and our wire, our ear wire. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece, and now we have about 6 inches left over, maybe a little bit more. We're not going to need all that, of course, but I wanted to have a little bit longer of a piece so you could really kind of see what I was doing. I'm going to bring this down for reference because I did make my loops really tiny, and I just want to make sure that I am trying to stay consistent. So for the center one, it looks like I went right about here, and we're just going to bring both of those up and like crisscross them like this. All right, just like that. And I'm just going to double check, just make sure it's somewhat close. If it's not perfect, it's not perfect, it's fine. But yeah, we're close. So I'm going to stick this back on because this seems like the easiest way to do it. And we're just going to go ahead and twist it another time here. I'm going to twist it one more time, and let's just kind of straighten that out. And I think what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and put this on right away because I kind of struggled getting it on there. So let's go ahead and open up this jump ring. Put our dangle on it, put it on the bottom of this loop here. Oh, still struggling with it. All right, so I'm going to try to hold it. And let's get it closed at least most of the way, and then I can always use my pliers to get it closed the rest of the way here. That way it's not like coming off. And there we go. All right, so now that that's on, let's put our beads on. So we did a little blue bead. We did a antique copper cube and a blue bead. All right, so we have it just like that, and now we're going to make our tiny loop right here. All right, and we want to cross it over, but have it so we can pop that on there. So one side is easier to put on than the other. So when you don't have the other side started, the first side is the easiest. Let's grab a hold of our loop that we made, and let's very carefully do our wire wrap around. And it looks like we went around about, it looks like about 2.5 times. So let's try to keep it about the same. All right, and I will save these little pieces of wire because I will use them to make connectors for something else, and I always save my little scraps. All right, and let's just make sure that is squished down. So this went a lot easier than the last one did because we didn't really know what we were doing with the last one. And now this other one seemed to come together a lot easier and a lot quicker. Let's put that on. And now let's make sure everything is going the right direction here. And like I said, you're gonna wanna probably make it more of like a little triangle like this, but we can do some wire shaping when we're all said and done here. Let's do our other little loop, trying to keep them consistent. Cross it over, but don't close it off. If anything, pop it open just a little bit. And I think we'll have a hard time getting that in there, so we are going to trim some of this off, the second one. I'm just going to feed that through. And we're going to try really hard to not ruin our loop, but try to also get it in there. And there we go. All right, so we got it in there. And again, we can just kind of play around with it a little bit, get it to do what we need it to do. Yeah, the second one is the hardest one, but if you have to bend your wire a little bit, it's okay because you can always straighten it right back out. It's absolutely fine. And then let's get in there and let's do our wraps. Whoop. And there we go. We can trim that off. And then let's go ahead and pinch that down. All right. And now we're just going to kind of straighten up our little beaded triangle here. Let's make sure it matches as best as we can, and it does. So that looks cute. And then let's put our ear wire on. And close that up. Oh goodness, this is cute, guys. Look, these are so cute. What do you think? I need to know what you guys think of these. I'm gonna try them on for you real quick, and we'll see how they hang. I'll be right back. Okay guys, I'm going to take out my little earrings that I'm wearing currently here because I forgot I had them on because they're super duper light. And let's put these little beauties on. Oh, I like it. I like it a lot. And there's the other one. Let me get some light here, see if that helps. And there's one, and there's the other. And they're a little bit longer, so they're gonna be right about here, but I think they look really cute. They're not super heavy, and they just kind of like do some little movements, and I really like that. They look kind of, they look a little bit boho by the shape and everything, and I think that looks really cool. All right guys, I hope you like this one. Let me know in the comments what you thought of it, and if you got your Sam's bead box, let me know what you think of this month's. Also, if you haven't gotten it and you want to get it, I do have all the information in the description below. All right guys, I'm sending you my love, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.